Today's topic is the engine builder and the pit crew. Let's get it going. For 3 years, my agency built funnels and automation systems for the biggest names in marketing today. Since then, I've transformed that agency into a hyper-profitable training and consulting business. While everyone is out there talking about scale like it's some sort of destination, we'll be asking the real question. How do you transform your business into a more scalable model using the knowledge, skills, and expertise that you already have? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share the strategies I'm using to build my multi-million-dollar business. My name is Greg Hickman, and welcome to Scalable. All right, guys. So, like I said, I want to talk about this notion of the engine builder and the pit crew. And I've used this analogy a lot, both with our clients and also with potential clients, specifically when we were doing a lot of done-for-you work, right? So those that have followed, we were a funnels and automation agency doing primarily Infusionsoft funnels back when when this reference came in. Now we use multiple tools, but the conversation we'd have is, people didn't like using the tool, and we would come in and we'd help them get the most out of their marketing automation and their funnels, and we build them. And as we started evolving how we work, what we found was that it was really important to have someone on the client side that was also more of our direct point of contact versus the actual owner of the business, right? Someone who is familiar with, say, Infusionsoft or the marketing automation or funnel building tool we were using, and had the ability to move and get pieces and assets that we would need from the client in order to design and build and deploy the funnel and automation that they came to us for, right? And so we would talk to them, and a lot of times I'd use the analogy of this engine builder versus the pit crew. And so we fell in love with building engines, right? Building your sales funnel, your sales process, your new client onboarding. How do you use automation to streamline your back office operations? Like, we were building engines and machines that helped our clients' businesses run more smoothly, right? And after a certain amount of time working with any particular client, it felt like more and more we were getting pulled into their day-to-day usage of the machine, right? Of the engine. And it felt like we went from engine builder to pit crew. And that's where a lot of the pains in our own business came out of, well, I kind of feel like I'm just an employee of this person's business, or like our team is just like, our team might as well be internal to our client because of how much stuff we were getting pulled into that was really outside of the engine that was being built, right? And driving the engine day to day. And so I started sharing with prospects that when we would talk to them, I'd kind of explain this analogy, and I said, okay, well, who on your team is the pit crew, right? Like, come race day, who's going to jump over the wall and change the tires? Because we're not pit crew. Like, I'm building you the engine that's going to get your car around the track and to your goals as fast and efficiently and as streamlined as possible, right? But you're going to pull into the pit from time to time. Like, you're going to have to send emails from this engine. You're going to have to be able to process refunds or, go look up client information, like within the day-to-day, that you need someone on your team to be able to do. And oftentimes we'd find that there were people that didn't have that person and were unwilling to go get them. And they were hoping that we would be that person as well. And because we had done that and we realized that that wasn't what we enjoyed doing. Actually, a lot of the pain and struggle and kind of our like lack of excitement in our own business came from when we were getting pulled into doing these pit crew activities, right? We get fired up and stoked to design and build and launch these engines and systems for people, but for them to have a successful business, we knew that if we were pit crew, we would essentially be handcuffing them. And in many ways, this is probably something that happens to you and your clients, right? You are hired for your expertise and this thing that you can build is going to help their business achieve a certain goal. But if the relationship goes on, maybe it's a retainer-based relationship, slowly but surely, you could be getting pulled into doing pit crew type activities. And that might drain you. Maybe you like doing it. If that's you, great. For us, it wasn't. And it kind of created this like predicament in our business of, well, okay, here's who we need to actually go after. Like, here's who an ideal client is for us, because we need them to have someone in place that will be pit crew because we're not. So when we didn't understand the difference between engine builder and pit crew, and even have the analogy and the story of having someone, who builds the NASCAR, the car race engine, and the pit crew that's jumping over to change the tires, right? Like, before I ever had that analogy, we would take on a lot of the wrong clients and we'd run into these issues and we didn't really understand why. We need something from our client, and because we were operating directly with the owner, because he was the only person that was in the business, or at least on this initiative, we couldn't do our job, and then the work got prolonged, which leads to scope creep and all of that stuff. So once we realized that, hey, we're the engine builders, you need to be pit crew or have someone, and if you don't, then we're not a good fit, it made saying yes and no to the right and wrong clients a whole lot easier. And for us in our own unique situation. So one, I think the first lesson here is, are you did you start your business as the engine builder and get pulled into being the pit crew and just didn't realize it, and that's maybe why you're feeling some of this friction? If so, now you know, and as you have the conversation with potential new clients, bring them through this story of engine builder, pit crew, and the difference, and why they need someone on their team. And then you need to make a decision in your own business. Do you want to work with people that don't have that pit crew? Are you willing to be the pit crew? Are you willing to train the pit crew if they're willing to go get someone? And that's going to help you make better decisions on who you should be working with and who you shouldn't. What also kind of the aftermath of learning this for us, we realized that a lot of the stuff that was pit crew, right, that we needed from our clients would prolong projects, right? Where they would prolong, and so we would have like 4 or 5 active clients, but they were sort of like in the waiting phase, and we'd take on new clients and they'd be really active, but then those inactive all of a sudden would get what we needed and they'd come out of nowhere, and now we'd be super overwhelmed again. And this was for us when we realized we could start transitioning from doing this work one-on-one into a one-to-many fashion. And this is where, again, we saw the 80-20 of what we were building and what clients came to us for and the engines that they needed. And we started to package up our expertise, package up these systems in a way that we could easily transfer them to our clients in a quick and efficient way while working with a lot of clients at the same time. And that was the kind of next phase and an evolution of us productizing our own business. And that has now led us on this journey of building out, online programs, coaching and consulting and workshops, right? Because we've learned how to package up our expertise and the results that we were getting the clients without necessarily having to be the pit crew, right? Like, I can literally give people the engine 85% done, and then I get to work with our clients on making the engine unique to their business and run smoothly in their own business. And that's where we get to spend our time versus on a lot of the back and forth. I don't need to build the engine from scratch. And once we have the engine, since we already have the engine pre-built, the tasks and types of things that our clients would ever need from us from a pit crew perspective, we can easily show them how their team can do it internally. And it's made a world of a difference in how, one, we communicate what we can and cannot do for clients. It's made a world of a difference in knowing who to say yes to as a client, who is an ideal client and who is not. And now also this story, this tool of engine builder versus pit crew is a narrative that we've been able to give to our own clients who are currently stuck in pit crew and trying to make the transition, right? All of our clients are agency owners trying to transform into these leverage programs and workshops and services. And they got into it to be engine builders and they don't want to be pit crew, right? So if that's you and you just haven't had a way to articulate it, well, take it. I'm going to give you the story of engine builder and pit crew. And now you can go use this in your own conversations to start understanding who is a good fit for you and who isn't. Now, if you want our hand holding, attention to move through this transformational process from, done for you service provider into selling, high ticket consulting, coaching, and leverage programs and workshops, we have a program called Foundations. We work with you through this process hold your hand, taking you through our methodology, showing you step by step how to do what we were able to do for ourselves and many of our clients. Because if you like building engines, no matter what that means to you in your service-based business or your agency-style business, you can package that up and move yourself out of the position of being pit crew and only be selling engines. So if that sounds like something that you would like to do, visit scalecall.com and you can schedule a call with myself and or a member of our team. We'll have a brief conversation to see how we might be able to help you make this transformation. So scalecall.com, you can check that link out in the show notes, and hope you guys really lean into knowing that in many ways you are the engine builder and you don't have to be the pick. If I gave you 5 to 10 new clients, would you or your agency break? If so, your current agency model is broken. I struggled with this too until I found a better way. By adding online programs, training, and coaching to our agency, we doubled profits without adding more hours. If you want to work directly with me and my team to transform your agency, visit myscalablebusiness.com to learn more.